Okay, and the hashtag tonight is Sanskari Censor Chief. Sanskari Censor Chief is the hashtag, Roshan, and you are against the Sanskari Censor Chief. Ashoke Pandit is against the Sanskari Censor Chief. Roshan Abbas, of course, you are. Khusboo is against the Sanskari Censor Chief. She's joining me in something. It's a bit of a tongue twister, huh? Aditi Mittal, stand-up comedian and writer, is against the Sanskari Censor Chief. Can you say this in one word, viewers? Sanskari Censor Chief. Can you say that? Can you say that? It's a tongue twister. Okay, let's practice it. George Baker supports the Sanskari Censor Chief. He's a member of the Censor Board. Censor Board member George Baker supports Sanskari Censor Chief. Dr. Indira Tiwari supports Sanskari Censor Chief, and Abha Singh supports Sanskari Censor Chief. Why do you support your Sanskari Censor Chief, Mr. Baker? Why do you? I mean, why do you? There's some kind of official moral police? Or you believe that, you know, he's done the right thing? He wants a Sanskari Daniel Craig? He wants a Sanskari Monica Bellucci?
Well, to be very honest.
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Please tell us.
Can you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I am trying to hear. Absolutely. Go ahead, sir. Why do you support a Sanskari Censor Board?
Well, basically, it's not a question of supporting Sanskari Censor Board. It's a question of protecting and caring for our own culture. People talk of freedom of expression. I wonder if those people who are so much against the censoring, whether they kiss absolutely passionately in front of their children. They don't. They don't do it publicly.
Okay, one sec. Another censor. No, just 1 minute. Just a minute. We have the other side, another censor board member, not very Sanskari. Ashok Pandit is responding to you. Go ahead, Ashok.
My friend Baker, I just wanted to ask you one thing.
Yes.
That when Mr. Nihlani was asked about his most vulgar songs in his films, he said, it's my freedom of expression. So when the freedom of expression is right for him, because he started the culture of vulgarity in Hindi cinema. He's a epitome of vulgarity in Hindi cinema. And now he's questioning the vulgarity in James Bond, in Rajshri films, that you delete word called Rakhel, you delete word called Sala, you delete word, and we rejected this caste list, if you remember, Mr. Baker. But what is happening now is, after the board rejecting this caste list, verbally the examining committee members are told to delete these words. So what kind of country are we living in?
Interesting. We want to respond to that, is it? And by the way, Mr. Baker, you know, I'm told that certain films, you know, certain regional films, I'm not going to mention any few, you know, it's below par. I don't know. I'm told there are C grade, D grade, E grade, F grade movies that get lots of certificates from the censor board. How come all of that is Sanskari? That's Indian culture, is it?
Basically, it's
no,
not
that's Indian culture.
Sanskari.
Pardon me?
It's we.
Would you say? No,
if you would let me speak, I'd be very happy. Otherwise, if you did not want to listen, it would be quite well.
Sir,
okay,
don't censor me. You can't censor me.
But
this is not your censor board meeting, for God's sake, Mr. Baker.
Well, you
don't do this. Don't do this. This is not your censor board meeting.
For God's sake, Mr. Arnab Goswami, as you talk of freedom of speech, I also have the freedom to talk.
Yes. So tell me, no. Tell me.
I also have the freedom to talk. I very much agree with Mr. Pandit.
Yes.
And I also say that too much censorship is not good.
Okay.
But it should be at that level where it is acceptable.
Parameter? Mr. Baker, who will decide that parameter?
That we don't
what is too much and what is too less?
I wonder,
and what is less?
Mr. Pandit, when you attend any function, Mr. Pandit, when you attend any function, do you use any cuss words? If you are annoyed in any way,
what function
with the organizers or with anyone else,
are we talking about
sure
marriage functions and birthday functions? What functions are we talking about? Yeah? We are talking about cinema. Mr. Baker, we are not talking about functions. We are not talking about marriage functions and parties.
Any meetings.
No, depends what kind of people we are. We use words and leave that to the people, Mr. Baker.
Any meeting.
Mr. Baker, leave that to the people to decide. what I want to hear and what I don't want to hear.
Come to the
Pandit,
debate.
Mr. Pandit,
Mr. Pandit,
No, one second. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
I tell you very
No,
frankly,
you have turned
I
into
agree with
Mr. Baker.
certain
Mr.
things.
Baker. Mr.
I
Baker, though,
agree
I
with
understand.
certain
I
things
understand.
that
No,
we
Mr.
in
Baker,
the
1
board
minute.
have
Mr.
decided.
Mr. Baker, understand. Is cinema in India only for family viewing? Question number 1. Is abusive language in fictional works of art in India prohibited? Should we be a progressive country in the 21st century? Or are movies in India meant to depict an idealistic world where everybody from every walk of life and across every demography speaks in a politically correct language? Tomorrow, by that logic, books, paintings, poems. You should have a Sanskari poem censor board.
No.
You should
I
have a
will not
Sanskari.
talk of books. I
Hey,
will
what?
not talk
No,
of
you
books.
should. You should.
I will
No,
not.
why should you not? Why should you not, Mr. Baker? You tell me, Mr. Baker, very clearly
I
tonight.
say it?
No, you tell me,
You
Mr.
let me
Baker.
say it?
Tell me 1 second, Mr. Baker. You say you are a
You tell me,
Sanskari
Mr.
man.
Goswami,
Why should
would
your
you
Sanskar
use these
be
words in
limited
front
to
of your
movies?
father and
Go.
mother?
No, Mr. Baker, it is not correct. Your Sanskar
I'm
must
not
be
saying
extended to
Sanskari.
every walk of
there
life.
There
I
should be
say.
limits. You have no right.
No, Mr. Baker, what right do you have?
It has to
You
be
tell me, Mr.
extended.
Baker, why should
But
all
I'm
cinema in
saying-
India, even in cases in which they are not made in
Well,
India,
Mr.
be
Goswami,
snipped,
what
be
right have
snipped,
you?
be snipped,
What
altered,
right have
edited,
you to
and
morally police the censors?
and who are you, Mr. Baker? You're not even a censor board. You understand?
no,
You're a
just a minute.
certification board.
Mr.
No, Mr. Baker,
Mr.
you're taking yourself too seriously. The
Mr.
problem with you,
Goswami.
Mr. Baker, Mr. Baker, there's a problem you have.
Arrogance.
I'll tell you your problem. You think you have
The
arrived.
problem with you, Mr.
The
Goswami,
problem is that you think you have arrived.
have a program of
Mr.
30
Baker,
minutes.
Mr. Baker, I'm
and
telling
talk
you,
for 25
Mr.
minutes.
Baker, I'm telling
People
you,
don't
you
get a
are
chance
you
to
are
say anything.
completely and totally irrelevant.
No.
You think you have arrived. You are simply a
have got-
government
you
nominee
have
on
got
what is
an
a
inherent
certification board.
capability
You have no
of
right,
utilizing
especially
25
not your
minutes
chief.
of his-
You are a
of his show
sycophant to your
with
chief,
your
Mr.
voice,
Baker.
not the
You
voice
just
of the
want to
people
toe
whom you
that
are
line
asking
because you
questions
think
to.
it will get someone's approval. You think you are there to snip, cut, alter, edit everything to fit your liking and your moral
Mr.
approval.
Goswami,
And I
who are
don't
you
need
to
your
sit
approval,
on
Mr.
judgment
Baker.
on my opinions?
Mr. Baker, who are you?
You are nobody
Mr.
to sit
Baker,
on
but who
judgment
are you?
on
For
my
God's sake,
opinions.
identify yourself.
My opinions
Share
are my
your
opinions.
qualifications
You are
tonight
nobody
to be
to judge.
moral guardian of India. Tell me. Tell us. Viewers are watching across India tonight. George Baker will tell us now, full frame on the screen.
I'm not the moral guardian of
Full frame
India.
on the
I'm
screen,
not the
George
moral-
Baker,
You,
Sanskari
Mr.
Censor Board
Mr.
member, will
Goswami
tell
are not
us
the
why he is
justice
the
of
moral
the
guardian of
Chief
India.
Justice of
You
the
have 1
Supreme
minute to
Court
tell our
or the
viewers
Chief
why you should be
Justice of
moral guardian of
society in
India.
the country.
Please start. Your time starts now. Tell the viewers why you should be the moral guardian of India.
I am
Your
not-
unique qualifications in order to perform that role, Mr. Baker. The time starts now. 1 minute. Please start. Start.
For a very simple reason, I will tell you that I do not want to be a moral policeman. I just want to be a civil human being. And there are things which I would not do publicly.
Civil human being.
I am afraid that people sit behind the cameras and microphones and keep judging the censor board. But at the same time, they censor our conversations
No, you
when we are
no,
on
Mr.
shows
Baker,
like yours,
Mr. Baker,
where you
Mr.
talk
Baker,
for about 25 minutes.
Mr. Baker,
and
now,
the remaining
Mr.
7 or
Baker,
8
I'll tell you
people get
a couple
chance
of.
to
Now we'll
fight.
open up the debate.
Thank you very
Roshan
much for
Abbas
your 1
opening
minute,
from the
Mr.
other side.
Goswami.
And by
It's
the way,
very
Mr.
kind of
Baker,
you.
Mr. Baker, this is an act of cowardice on national television on your part. When you have appointed yourself as the moral guardian, I'm giving you an opportunity to explain to the people of India
Yes,
why
I
you
may
and
be
only
a
you should
coward.
be qualified
I
to
may
be a
be
moral
a
guardian of
coward,
India.
but I
And
am
I'll tell you
frank
why,
enough
Mr.
to
Baker.
tell people
I'll tell you why, Mr. Baker, people
that-
like you think you are the moral
No,
guardian of
I'm
India
not a moral
because you have
guardian of
essentially
India, not
linked.
at all,
You
not at
listen,
all,
Mr.
Mr.
Baker,
Goswami. I'm
listen
not
to
a
the other
moral
side
guardian.
tonight and let me tell you about
And
your
I
own
will tell you
irrelevance.
that you are not my guardian.
I'll tell you,
Who will
certainly
tell
not.
me
I don't want to
who
be.
will judge me.
I don't want to be your
No, no,
guardian.
no.
I don't want to be your guardian, Mr. Baker.
Arnab.
But I don't want to let you run
Arnab,
away with a
I
feeling
will-
that
I
you
don't
become
want
some
to
sort
be
of
a
kind of a
moral
Sanskari
policeman.
guardian. You see, Mr.
I
Baker,
want to be
Mr.
a
Baker,
civil
Roshan
human
Abbas will
being
respond to you.
who is not being
Roshan will
accused
respond. Arey, Mr. Baker,
of
take
doing
a deep
things
breath.
he doesn't
Take a
do.
deep breath.
Arnab,
लंबी सांस
Arnab.
लीजिए.
Thank you very
सुनिए,
much.
Mr. Baker.
Thank you.
लंबी सांस लीजिए और जरा
So
सुनिए
let's-
दूसरी
let's-
तरफ
yeah,
की बात.
let's-
Roshan Abbas will respond to you.
Mr.
I'll tell you
Baker.
one thing. I'll tell you one thing. Roshan, before I come to you.
Mr.
I think Mr. Baker and what is his boss? What is that man name? That who makes the C-grade movies? Pahlaj Nihlani. C-grade filmmaker Pahlaj
Mr. Nihlani.
and his understudy
Nihlani.
Mr. George Baker basically have inked
funny.
a ethical or moral code for filmmakers by putting a timer on the length of a non-platonic scene so as to define what is acceptable and what is not. So I want to know from Mr. Baker, you have asked for a kissing scene to be reduced by 20 seconds. Mr. Baker, Please tell me, why not 22 seconds? Why 20 seconds?
It could have been 22 seconds.
No, but how did you decide 20?
There was no need to.
How did you decide? No, you are wrong, Mr. Baker. Why did you not clip the scene altogether? You should have, no?
Oh my God, will you let me reply to
no,
your
Mr.
question?
Baker, why should a kissing scene be cut by only 20 seconds?
Let me reply to your question?
No, why 20 seconds? You please tell me. Aapki logic samjhaiye mujhe.
Because it was getting very long. The point of a kiss had already been made, and I think that is 15 or 20 seconds is enough time.
Mr. Baker is responding. One sec.
Otherwise,
One sec. No, Roshan Abbas, this is going to be. This is. I tell you one thing. Viewers, one sec. This is the most sensational. Mr. Baker, Mr. Baker. No. Mr. Baker,
or in front of your parents either.
Mr. Baker,
no, Roshan Abbas to me. I'm not a moral policeman.
Roshan Abbas is responding to Mr. Baker's fairly frank admission that the kiss was getting too long. Roshan.
Are you moral journalist?
Roshan.
Arnab.
Yeah.
Arnab.
Yeah.
Arnab, you know.
Let's not get personal, whoever that was.
We've had statues which have been kissing permanently.
I wonder how moral everyone is.
No, absolutely. So I'm not saying anything at all to you, sir. Exactly, sir. It's not about morality. I think the issue is it's about policing and deciding what morality is right and what morality is not. I think censorship in its essence, if you look at it, we do have people who can react negatively to certain aspects, and which is why at some point some censorship one may be okay with. But we've got, the Kama Sutra, we've got Ajanta Ellora, we've got these wonderful paintings and sculptures which are kissing permanently. Not 20 seconds, not 8 seconds, they're just kissing all the time.
And Khajuraho also, which is one of the most beautiful sculptures in the world.
Acts. And a creative, absolutely.
Why don't you demolish
now, if you
them, Mr.
enjoy
Baker?
it and I want to watch it for 20 seconds,
Mr. Baker, how can you allow these sculptures to exist?
Why can
no,
we
sorry,
not
Mr. Baker. Mr. Baker, no, sorry, Roshan, I'm not a writer, no, Mr. Baker.
Arnab, I
if you were head of the Archaeological Council, you would break all the structures.
Had a fit because Raja Hindustani is one of the longest kisses. What's wrong? Ashok ji is there. Ashok ji will tell you that films have been having kissing scenes from...
The longest kiss in Indian film history is between Devika Rani and Himanshu Rai. A total of 4 minutes.
Mr. Baker, you decide what is right and what is wrong.
Look at that.
You are contradicting your own self.
Did you see it, sir? Did you see it for 4 minutes? Mr. Baker, did you see it for 4 minutes? Did you enjoy it for 4 minutes? Why were you not revolted by those 4 minutes?
No, I didn't.
Were you revolted by the 22 seconds of
I
Daniel
didn't. It has been recorded.
Else? Why was Himanshu Rai? So why did that not...
I was not revolted. In fact, I'll be very honest.
Said that now we should
if
remove
I
that.
may be honest
I
with
know
you
that,
people,
but why do we not remove it from the annals of Indian history?
Why should I say what you want me to say? Let me say what I want to say.
Today, I don't want you to say that.
I would just like to say one thing here.
22 seconds was too long.
I have
what lets you decide?
I have no objections to a kissing scene.
Not for us.
I have no objections to a kissing scene. But once we have established that it's a kissing scene, do you think it should carry on for interminably?
No, but what is the length you allow? What is the length that you allow? One second.
Sir,
Just one. What is the length you allow? No, one second. It's a very serious question. It's a very serious question. No. He must answer the question. Mr. Baker, on a very serious...
It's a question of what went previously and what comes later. Okay, so that is what is important.
Well, you will teach the filmmaker that what should be the screenplay, how should I make a film? I should make a film according to the Pahlaj Nirani's likes and dislikes. Leave that entire...
Leave that... Abbas.
But at the same time,
I beg to differ. Mr. Pandit, I beg to differ.
No, you responded directly.
Because I will say this, Mr. Pahlaj Nihlani is acting as per the cinematograph rules. There is something called rules which he is governing. He is no...
There is no rule. There is no rule which says that you are allowed to kiss
censor
for
board
22
chairman.
minutes.
There he is.
And you are allowed
Out there.
not to kiss for
Before,
22 minutes.
before he was
What
not the
rule are we
censor
talking
board
about?
chairman, he did
Madam,
not
out
do
there
we
he
talking
is
about?
absolutely
19(2)
wrong.
of the Constitution
What?
says
Because
Ma'am,
nothing
ma'am,
in the
don't give that
Cinematography
constitution
Act has been
speech.
mentioned.
Don't give that constitution
You
speech to
are
me.
sitting
About
in the
who is
censor board,
Pahlaj Dalali
and why have
to
you not
decide
resigned
whether
till
there's
now?
a kiss?
Why Ashoke
No, why-
Pandit has not resigned?
Why should I resign?
Because he
I'm not
comes
an
to speak to
escapist.
the channel.
I'm not an
It is
escapist. Miss
illegal.
Abha Leilani,
Why
and you have
did
no
you
right.
become a member?
You have no
Why
right.
did you become
It's
a
my-
member of censor
it's
board
not-
if you cannot do it?
Why should I
Coming and
resign?
speaking in the
I'm not a
channel
lawyer
is not
like
the
you
solution.
that I will resign.
It is not
Why
the
should I resign?
solution.
Why
You
should
come
I
to speak
resign?
in channel,
I will rectify
you
the
speak
system
in
by
channels,
remaining there.
and in the
You are
office
nobody
you
to
can't
tell
do
me to
with your
resign.
pen.
I
What
will
you are supposed
decide
to do with a
how
pen,
to
you
bring in a
don't do.
change.
You
It
have
is my
failed- you have
duty
failed as
to
a
bring in a
member.
change.
You have failed as a member.
Arey ma'am,
You come here and speak.
ma'am, I know how much you have failed and how much you have passed. I know your credibility.
No personal.
Restrictions are there.
Ma'am,
Arnab.
I have not
Supreme
failed.
Court says
I have
reasonable
passed
restrictions
because
are
I
there.
have the guts
Public
to
interest and
stand
morals have to
against
be
the wrong
seen.
happening in the
And
CBFC.
if you want
and
to say break the law,
and my
then we
minister.
break the law.
Okay,
But it's the law.
1 minute, please stop
Law
now.
has to be upheld.
Abaji,
Reasonable restrictions have been given by the
this is
court,
not,
by the Supreme
allow me
Court.
to talk.
Okay, this is
What
not-
I'm saying,
You please
what
resign.
I'm
You
saying,
please resign.
the minister has
You
said
calm
today.
down, calm down. You calm down.
My minister has
You
said
resign
today,
if
who are you?
uphold the
Who
law.
are you to tell me
You
to
are the
resign?
stooges of
What
political
standing is
Okay,
yours?
calm down.
What is your
Stooges of
standing?
Okay,
political
both
to
of you
tell me
calm.
to resign?
Calm down.
Who are you to tell me to resign?
Calm down now.
Who are you to tell me to resign?
Okay,
What standing do you have to tell me to resign?
Okay.
Who are you?
Arnab,
Who are you?
Okay.
No.
Who are you to tell me to resign?
Don't speak here.
Who are you? What is your standing? What is your standing? What is your standing? What is your standing to tell me to resign? I have come to the board as per my integrity.
You have to follow
I'm
the
not
law
like
of the
you
land.
to
If you have
blackmail people
problem-
on the streets.
If you have problem
Please
with the
calm down,
censor board
gentlemen.
chief, please sort it out.
Okay,
No, why
this is
should I
not,
resign?
this is not a debate between
Why?
both of you. This is not a debate
Listen.
between both of you. No, 1 second. This
Who
debate
are you to tell me to
Okay,
resign?
fine. Now let's go back
You
to
have
the.
no standing to tell me to resign.
Calm down and come back.
You
to
mind
the
your own business and discuss on the subject.
Okay, let's discuss the subject. Now there is no point here. The discussion is
Whatever
not Ashok
I
Pandit.
said,
That
my
discussion.
minister,
Please stop.
My minister has said the same thing.
Okay, now I'm requesting you to stop. Please stop, please. Now, 1 second. I'm requesting you to stop.
Ask
Let's go
him
back.
again.
Okay, fine. Both of you, please stop and pull back from each other. The discussion is not that. The discussion was the Sanskari censor board. And I asked Khusboo, and Aditi Mittal is coming into the debate. Calm down, please, gentlemen. Aditi Mittal hasn't spoken, Khusboo has not spoken, and Indira Tiwari has not spoken. So I'd like at this stage Aditi Mittal and Indira Tiwari to come in, and then Khusboo will come into the debate. This film, this James Bond film, for example, has got a UA certificate from the board, which means that parental discretion is allowed for children below the age of 12. Now, if parents and personal guardians are being asked to take a call on whether the child can view a certain film or not exactly, what is the point of snipping out 4 scenes from the movie altogether? I mean, it makes no sense. Let the parents take the call. That would be a logical way of looking at it. I'd like to get you into the debate. And Indira Tiwari, by the way, parents and families and children decide. You know, Mr. George Baker may think he's moral guardian of India, but Mr. Baker cannot decide. That's the fact. This is the democracy. In a democracy,
Goswami,
families
I would
decide.
be extremely
I'd like
grateful if you would stop
Aditi,
referring to me like that.
Parent decides there will be
You have
chaos.
no right.
You have to have
You
a
are
board.
not my custodian.
Aditi and
nor are you
Indira
my
Tiwari,
guardian.
the government must intervene. Aditi and Indira Tiwari. No, this is not good. Aditi and Indira, Aditi.
I think the
I know.
primary
I know.
job of the committee is to provide certification and not to censor. And I do admit, Mr. Pandit, that it is great that you are defending us today in terms of freedom of expression. But if you remember correctly, a couple of months ago, you had said something extremely obscene about a show that was also you deemed obscene.
Oh.
But you had tweeted something very vulgar.
Yeah.
And
What
at
was
that
that?
point, I'm just curious as to, it was about a prominent director and a sexual position with his parent.
Yeah.
And so you created this sort of...
You want to come to that discussion?
No, let
I have an
her.
answer.
No. She has every right to.
absolutely.
Don't try and
that's why
intimidate her.
No, I'm not intimidated.
Which is why I'm curious as to why today this is such a mudda for you in terms of that, because you have provided that very function of censorship in the past. And
Yeah.
so
Well-
how is today's situation
No,
different?
there is a difference. When Karan Johar abuses Farida Jalal, a respected actress, without her permission, I have an objection to that. Here we are talking about a film. This is a fiction. Let me finish. Here is a fiction. A character of a film is doing as per that character.
Okay,
it's not Karan Johar. He's not Karan Johar and he's not Ranveer Singh.
She's not
They are our stars.
Okay, now stop.
They are our icons.
You can't.
So without any permission, without any permission,
double standard. She's saying double standard.
You cannot humiliate. You cannot humiliate. अरे आबा जी आपका double standard मेरे को पता है. आबा जी आपका double standard मेरे को पता है. मुझे पता है आपका double standard क्या है. Let me talk to her. Let me talk to her. I respect her as a performer. Let me talk to her. This is not court. This is not court. Don't get into this. Don't get into it. She has a right. She knows to defend and talk to me.
Aditi Mittal, complete your point. Complete your point,
The
Aditi.
point that I wanted to make was that in order to, you created a piece of vulgarity in order to counter
No,
what was
watch.
already
Let her.
It was not.
And so
You may think so.
So the things that you
No, what I said.
You
I will say what I said.
You may think so.
I will say what I said. I will say what I said.
So people are right to see what movie they want to see.
So I didn't say ban the show. I didn't say. It was my reaction when Farida ji and one more Marathi actress was ridiculed on the stage. So I took an objection to that without their permission. Rima Lagu and Farida ji as a respected woman actress of the industry.
Watch Aditi Mittal.
So I objected to it.
If you are today standing for them, then today Mr. Nihlani ji is standing for Daniel Craig and Monica Bellucci. That's not. This is not how it works.
Listen.
There are two different things. You're mixing up two different things.
They are really
Aditi, you're mixing up two different things.
Okay, now
I said if Karan Johar on the stage wanted to show his performance action, he could have shown that to his mother at home, not to the public, because he was Karan Johar.
Okay.
Because he was Karan Johar, he was not a character performing.
Okay, now.
Two different things. Now. Let us understand between fiction and non-fiction.
Ashok Pandit.
I think you should understand the meaning of the difference.
Ashok Pandit, calm down.
I think I have to explain you what is the difference between fiction and non-fiction.
What are the guidelines?
Okay, no, one second.
What guidelines? What guidelines? The minister today has said whatever I am saying. The minister has said what is right.
For public interest and
I think both of you are taking the discussion to another level. This is not what the discussion is about. The discussion is about a Sanskari censor chief, and I'm sorry to say I think you're bringing your personal issues in the middle of this debate. I get Khusboo and Indira Tiwari into the debate. The fact of the matter is, and I take a break and I'm going to come back, the fact of the matter is there is a growing sense of the CBFC turning into a prudish censor board under the antediluvian man called Pahlaj Nihlani. He should just be sacked. He's out of sync with this generation, Indira Tiwari. You might think he's okay, but he takes away my right to decide what I want to watch, when I should watch, whether I should watch. And he's out of sync with modern India. Indira Tiwari and Khusboo, and then we take the break. Indira Tiwari, please, and Khusboo, and please, both of you, please calm down.
It seems that you are also self-congratulatory journalist, and you think that you are the only moral journalist, and people like you who have given you certificate of being the moral journalist or leading a moral,
I have every right.
moral journalist.
I have under the constitution. Thank you for your kind information. I don't need your permission.
So does the censor board is
censor
also
board
under
does
the constitution.
Censor board does not. Censor board does not.
What
no,
does,
it's a certification board.
Censor? Tell me.
It's a certification board.
Tell
it does not.
Tell me, Arnab, what does mean censor? Tell me, just explain
what is the meaning of censor? I'll tell you what is not the meaning of censor. One second. No, I'll tell you what is not the meaning of censor.
You and your coterie, I will also congratulate you and your coterie. So being you have already divided us, the panelists, on Sanskari and non-Sanskari people. That means I have just heard the non-Sanskari debate. It was so undignified, so derogatory that it is not called a debate like so much moral journalist like you.
Okay,
First.
now, thank you.
And
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
This is also a negative promotion. People like you who are actually abetting this kind of negative promotion.
Okay, now Indira Tiwari.
For any film.
Indira
I'm
Tiwari.
not criticizing any film.
Indira Tiwari.
You are the part and parcel of the promotion of whatever the film or whatever the issue you take up.
What is your problem with me?
Actually, you are also...
what is your problem with me? You tell me. What is your problem? You tell me one side.
What is your problem? You tell me.
You tell me what's your problem. I'll tell you, I have a problem with
problem.
I have a problem.
You always rake up the issue only for the TRP purpose.
No, Miss.
That's nothing to do.
No, let me tell you one thing. I'll tell you why. Because I believe that when somebody thinks that he has got political support in the BJP, should we talk openly today? Khusboo?
Yes.
This man, Pahlaj Nihlani, thinks कि मेरे को BJP का support है. सुन लीजिए ना. और
What
समझते हैं
support
कि
you have got? Tell me. Have you got the support of James Bond? And their producers,
No.
and they're the whole promotional.
No.
This team.
No.
Why not?
Listen to me now.
It
Listen.
is there.
Be reasonable.
See,
be
this is
reasonable.
also
Be
a fashion
reasonable.
of negative
Be reasonable.
promotion.
No, be reasonable.
See,
you see,
if you will,
if you one second.
incite a negative debate on the TV, this is two ways this will be taken.
Okay, now
one is for the
doesn't matter.
TRP purpose.
Right.
Second is for the promotion of the film, like it has been happening with the Amir Khan films.
If you finish, I'll tell you. I'll get Khusboo into the
trend.
No,
this is the latest trend of promotion.
I'll tell you the latest trend. Just calm down for a minute and understand.
I'm calm down.
Point number one is 1 second now, Indira Tiwari, listen to me. Listen to me. Indira Tiwari.
It's very good that
Indira
it is your
Tiwari.
channel. Then why do you call the panelists
Indira
when
Tiwari
you do not
now,
allow the panelists to speak?
I'll tell you one
Once
thing.
you have divided the Sanskari and non-Sanskari,
a film as defined by the
viewers are
dictionary.
voting
Miss
how
Tiwari,
Sanskari the non-Sanskari are.
Miss Tiwari, please understand. A film as defined by the dictionary is the process, art or business of making movies. It is not to impose or impart cultural values. Point number one. No, you're not listening. You're not listening. This is the problem with you. This is the problem with all right-wingers. You don't listen.
No, the problem is with all so-called left-winger. Neither I am the right-winger nor I am the left-winger. You cannot put your word or you cannot staple any kind of a comment on me.
Okay, I'll speak my words, you speak your words. Allowed? Agreed?
Yeah,
now let me speak my words, but don't speak over me. That's my only request. I'll make 3 points. 3 points to you. It will educate you, ma'am. You're a very experienced person. 3 points. Point number one.
You need to be educated. You're such a great journalist.
No, I did not mean it rudely.
You're such a great journalist.
Okay.
You're such a great anchor. Still, I feel you are not educated.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm not educated. Okay, Mr. Tiwari, you are educated. I'm not educated. I'm illiterate. I'm bad. I'm non-Sanskari. I'm out of touch with Indian values. I'm culturally bad. I'm corrupted. I'm very bad. Okay, now listen. Roshan Abbas is coming into this. This debate is not about me. मैंने तो मान लिया मैं सबसे बुरा है. Roshan Abbas.
I threw a gauntlet and
Roshan Abbas.
all of us panelists come one by one to me, and I'll answer everybody.
अच्छा रोशन अब्बास को बोलने दीजिए आप इतना भड़क रही है मेरे पर रोशन अब्बास बोलेंगे
I've just viewed all non-Sanskari
एक लाइन बोलने
just now.
दीजिए
आप मुझे सेंसर कर दीजिए आप मुझे क्लिप कर दीजिए बस
we are trying
आप ही लोग बोल रहे हैं
we are trying to be
ये 30 मिनट का जो डिबेट अर्नब जी कराते हैं उसमें सिर्फ जो है हूलिगन्स बोलते हैं
अच्छा रोशन अब्बास हूलिगन नहीं है बोलने दीजिए उनको
कर देते हैं कि ये संस्कारी सो ऑर्थोडॉक्स है मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है मिस्टर अब्बास मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है आपसे
मैम leave the Sanskari leave that aside
it's not that to watch a nude film
our point is we are trying to be so right
please stop let him
we are trying to be so right there'll be nothing left we are trying to be so right there'll be nothing left
it's a good one actually
you've got to allow a conversation you've got to allow a thesis and an antithesis why you know what I'm saying we're just trying to be right all the time there's this extra attempt to be right
that is what is the beauty of any debate
ma'am there'll be nothing left let my children decide
am I allowed a break
I will explain to my children
should I take a break okay one sec should I take a break Khusboo before the break मैं बस एक बात कहूँगा before I come into
you know yeah let me take a break and explain to my children
I'll say three things very briefly to Indira Tiwari ji Indira Tiwari one a film no is a movie ये movie होती है ये movie कोई cultural values impart करने की education नहीं होती है अच्छा दूसरी चीज मेरी बात सुनिए 1991 में in 1991 हाँ on December 6th there were guidelines which were issued to the censor board guideline 1B said that nothing can be done by the censor board so that the artistic expression and creative freedom are unduly curbed. You can't do it. On that ground and one ground alone, Pahlaj Nihlani should get the boot. निकालिए उनको बाहर कीजिए जो ऐसे काम करते हैं खुशबू क्या संस्कारी है, क्या संस्कारी नहीं है, इस पर I would like Khusboo come into the debate before the first break. You've heard the discussion so far. Khusboo, responding to Indira Tiwari, George Baker, and a lot of the others.
Journalism के भी ethics हैं.
Yes.
Journalism के भी ethics हैं. There are
Indira ji,
ethics
can
for
I
the journalism.
speak? Indira ji, can I speak? You know, Arnab, I think people
Khusboo.
talk about
Are you
Sanskari and
regulated by the
non-Sanskari.
regulation?
No, people who
Khusboo.
Facts of the journalism.
इंदिरा जी मुझे अलाउ करेंगी आप? इंदिरा जी मुझे अलाउ करेंगी आप? आपका आर्नब के साथ कितने सालों का क्या बैर है मुझे नहीं पता. I don't know what you have against Arnab.
This is wrong. This is now wrong. Khusboo, you are not authorized. I have not given. You cannot certify me that बैर है या नहीं है. नहीं. And आप कितनी उसकी घनिष्ठ मित्र है खुशबू जी? I don't want to know how close you are to Arnab. I don't want to know. Neither viewers are interested that how close are you to Arnab. These kind of stupid statements,
ma'am, if this is what you have to say,
on any
this
TV
is what
debate.
you have to say. I have just one question to you. Ma'am, I have just one question to you.
No,
you know this is how Arnab is.
No, I think-
you have to be on the show. You always have a choice of not to be on the show. You have a choice of not to be on the show.
From any
You agree
personal
to be
attack
part of
which
the
you are
debate.
trying to do.
Indira Tiwari.
From any personal attack
I'm
which
saying
you are
you have
trying
a
to
choice
do.
of not
I
being
have
on
never
the show,
been
ma'am.
personal.
Can I
This is
put
what
my
is the
point
problem
forward?
with you non-Sanskari
Can I put
people.
my point?
You are putting
Okay, I'm
it in a
absolutely
very derogatory
non-Sanskari,
manner.
ma'am. I'm absolutely non-Sanskari and I take it as a compliment. I'm an absolutely non-Sanskari. I'm an atheist, I'm married a Hindu,
But
and I do not believe in God. I'm a total
cannot take that
non-Sanskari.
you say
But
that
let me make a point.
I have a
I'm a
false
filmmaker.
or I'm
Let me
antagonist
make a
to
point.
Arnab.
We have been hearing you.
One second.
Let me
No,
make
I
a
have
point.
also been
I'm here
hearing
as a
you.
filmmaker. When you
also
make
been
films,
hearing you.
people who talk about sanskar, I would really tell them, try making a film. It's not a preaching medium. You have documentaries, you have educational systems, you have a lot of people to do the preaching business. Movies are about entertainment. That's why we have the censor board and they give you the guideline value as to what is going to be you, what is UA, what is parental guidance, what is
Khusboo,
A
right,
certificate,
correct,
what is
correct,
X, what is
correct,
triple X.
Khusboo,
We
correct,
have that.
correct,
So once you
correct.
have given
Let
PG,
me
let me finish.
rebut you
Let me finish.
point-wise.
Let me finish, ma'am. I haven't finished my
Let me
point.
rebut you. What do you mean by
let me-
censor? Please explain me. I'm a completely lay person. I'm an illiterate. You just explain me what does mean censor.
No,
You explain me what does mean
What
censor.
does it mean?
Certificate.
Ma'am, I don't
What
have the
does
time to
mean
explain.
censor?
If you
Please
cannot
explain
understand
me.
that, I don't
And
think you
please
should be
explain
here
to
on
the
the
viewers
debate.
also
If
what
you
do
do
you
not
mean by censor?
understand these
And then
terms
why
of
there is a board?
UA, PG, A, X, triple X, if you don't understand the censor board, the certification which is given to a film, you should not be on this
No,
debate.
watch this one.
Let me tell
I
you, when
know.
the minute you say parental
Khusboo
guidance,
ji,
the minute
I
you tell
know
me
very
parental
well
guidance,
what is U oblique A.
UA
I know
is
what
about
is
a
U.
film which a parent will decide.
Don't try.
The point is this. The point is this. No, 1 second.
Don't try to quick.
A point, Indira Tiwari. No, before I go to the break. I will have to take a break. I will have to take a break.
No law says the length of the case. No law says the length of the case.
I need.
What is obscenity according to you? Is not obscenity.
Okay, I need to take a break before I
We are going to decide the obscenity.
Before I go into the break, I just want to say one thing. One thing, please. First of all, in the internet age, what is adult content and what is not needs to be revisited. Point number 2, I'll tell you what is not Sanskari, Indira Tiwari ji. Riots are not Sanskari. जो लोगों को धर्म के नाम पे तोड़ते हैं वो संस्कार नहीं होता. संगीत सोम संस्कारी नहीं है. महेश शर्मा संस्कारी नहीं है. योगी आदित्यनाथ संस्कारी नहीं है. आजम खान संस्कारी नहीं है. साध्वी प्राची संस्कारी नहीं है. उनको कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते. जो लोग उनको कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते कहते हैं मूवीज को कंट्रोल करेंगे. अरे भाई योगी आदित्यनाथ को कंट्रोल कीजिए, जेम्स बॉन्ड को कंट्रोल करना चाहते हैं. पहले योगी आदित्यनाथ को कंट्रोल कीजिए, फिर जेम्स बॉन्ड को कंट्रोल कीजिए. पहले संगीत सोम को कंट्रोल कीजिए फिर जेम्स बॉन्ड को कंट्रोल कीजिए।
No, let me explain.
पहले ओवैसी को कंट्रोल कीजिए फिर जेम्स बॉन्ड को कंट्रोल कीजिए। क्या संस्कारी नहीं है? We'll discuss on the other side of the break. Short break now. Just a short break.
Person you know very well.
Okay. Khusboo was asked by Indira Tiwari what is the role of a censor, but Indira Tiwari didn't listen. Now, I'd like, first of all, it's certification board. George Baker, come back to the debate. You're free to come back to the debate. Khusboo and George Baker taking that forward. Khusboo, in your view, where did the censor board cross the line?
Censor board crosses the line when it tells that you give a certification and yet you say that I want these cuts. You have a very clear indications as to how the censor board has to go. You have a certain limits to the particular certification which is given to a film. Once you are given that, like you give it to with PG, parental guidance, or UA. I'm a mother of a teenage kid, 2 teenage daughters. I will watch a film and I will decide whether my daughters have to watch it or not. Apart from that, whether I allow them to watch them or not, it's very easy for them to download it from the internet and watch whatever they want to watch. So where is the parental guidance coming in? Where is the UA coming in? And whether you show a kiss for 10 seconds or you show it for 20 seconds, a kiss is a kiss. How are you going to miss a smooching? So you mean to say for 10 seconds the kids are not going to understand that's a 10-second kiss, and 20 seconds, Eureka, discovery, it's a 20-second smooch. What are we talking?
Because the expert on the subject is George Baker. Let him answer, please. George Baker, please. Because you went into some elaborate detail on, you know, how much is okay and what is not okay. Please respond to Khusboo, please.
No, I definitely agree with certain things that Madam Khusboo has said. I certainly agree.
Then?
But when there is a question of suggesting something, that's okay.
What suggesting?
There are limits to the amount of suggestion. I mean, endlessly carrying on without bothering what comes after. Normally, after kissing, what happens is something we all who are adult enough to know, we admit it and we do it. We carry on, life moves like this.
What?
Everyone knows what love is. But that doesn't stand to reason that you have got to show total lovemaking on the screen. No, a kiss up to a certain...
No, you're not getting the point. You're not getting Khusboo's point at all. You're not getting Khusboo's point at all. No, you are not getting Khusboo's point at all. Let her explain it a second time to you. That's not her point. Her point is about her individual liberty as a parent to decide what her children should watch or not. And a certain film, in this case a James Bond film, is given a UA certificate by a censor board. By definition, a UA is one which is universal adult consumption, but with a word of caution that parental discretion is required for children below 12 years. If parents are going to accompany their children and are aware that this is a UA film, what is the point of cutting out the scenes in the first place? I mean, it's illogical. You can't be illogical and then try to explain, you know, philosophize. Khusboo, make your point a second time, please. Khusboo.
No, my question is
No, I have quite understood what she has said. She has been very specific.
Or a 20-second kiss. I do not understand this logic at all. That no, hum sanskari hain, to khali 10 second ka chumma dikhayenge, 20 second ka chumma nahi dikhayenge. Which world are we living in? We are not in a world where you have 2 flowers coming together and...
Yeah. Go ahead. Indira Tiwari is going to come back to the debate.
Oh, probably they kissed.
Indira Tiwari has no reply on this, please. I think the censor board member George Baker is struggling. George Baker. What's Indira Tiwari? Indira Tiwari and then Roshan Abbas. Indira Tiwari. Khusboo, please. Indira Tiwari.
Khusboo.
I do not 100% back Mr. Nihlani.
Yeah, Indira Tiwari, go on.
Khusboo.
I do not 100% back
Baker,
Mr.
may I speak, Baker ji? May I respond to Khusboo? Khusboo, I heard you very carefully. I understand and agree to you on that it's an internet world now. And children can download anything. Then it would be better, Arnab, to conduct a show that completely abolished censor board.
Download anything. No, ma'am.
She's not said that.
Ma'am, let me tell you, it's not about children can download anything. One wrong letter, even if they're doing a project work for school, one wrong letter which they type down for a project work can lead them to a different, absolutely a wrong site. One wrong letter when they're doing their project work.
See, you have answered your question now.
She's going to appear for a board exam. So which world are we living in? So are you going to tell the children that don't do your project work on the computer, don't Google it, don't go on the computer, take all the heavy books and study? What are we trying to tell the children of today's time?
Khusboo,
Are you saying, no, now I come to the other point. No, now I come to the other point. Roshan, Abbas. No, let's get Roshan on this point. My other point is, Roshan, no, 1 second. My other point, no, please, you keep saying, let me explain. Indira Tiwari, I have limited time. My question is to Roshan Abbas on another point. No, watch it. Roshan Abbas, my question is, are we less mature? My question is...
It is my priority to answer her. No, this is wrong.
Good, but let Roshan say something.
All panelists are fool and you simply enjoy you being anchoring in any show.
My question is to Roshan Abbas and my question to Roshan is, Roshan, Arey bhai, Roshan, sun lijiye. Roshan, if you don't come in, then we are censored forever.
When you put Khusboo across me, I need to answer her.
Khusboo has responded to you, you have responded to Khusboo. There is a person called Roshan Abbas who also would like half a word into the debate.
And you responded back.
No, I am yet to be.
Achha, now there's Roshan Abbas.
I have not done yet.
Roshan, no, you are not done. I know. I'll come back to you. Question is, are we less mature? Now we are wasting time. Indira Tiwari, Roshan Abbas, go ahead. Are we less mature? Are we less mature, Roshan? Are we less mature than UK? Are we less mature than USA? Are we less mature than Poland?
Is doing something wrong on his or her project. Okay. It is going to lead to a certain amount of wrong direction.
The certification board.
The same thing applies.
Roshan Abbas.
The film also.
No, watch it. Don't watch it. Let Roshan. I will.
I've had multiple friends. Ashoke ji, there were, we are a mature society. The censor board's role has always been to recommend, saying, I can give you this certificate without cuts or this certificate with cuts. This imposition of cuts, this forcing things down people's throat is where the first objection lies. The second thing is, let's realize for the longest time that these certification and licensing boards are also in a very large way, and I can tell you from filmmaker friends, they are arm twisting tactics, they are ways of extracting favors. I think you really need to do away with this, because in the internet age, everything is open. And as Khusboo said, we are now mature enough to let our children know, saying, hey,
okay,
10 seconds.
No. Abba.
And maybe there was be a 1 minute case which may not lead to sex.
We are okay with that. You do away with the certificate board. You do away with the cinematography.
I am openly against it.
Make it open. But as long as the law is there, the law has to be followed. If Supreme Court puts reasonable restrictions, and does he have the power?
I think I'll give Aditi the last word. Does Pahlaj Nihlani have the powers to make a cut? Should we get Pahlaj Nihlani on the program?
Yes, he should. Does he have? If he doesn't have, then why is it being followed?
Mr. Pahlaj Nihlani doesn't have the sense to make a cut.
Okay. Last word to Aditi.
Why did the movie make
absolute power seems to corrupt absolute power?
Aditi.
Just like the process of certification is not absolute, censorship cannot be absolute. You cannot decide halfway through where you want to go. And as Mr. Abbas said, it has been used several times as arm twisting tactics, and of course as a mouthpiece of the government, as people are currently suspecting. And so it is being used to further an agenda, and that cannot be done. And the sort of the cultural agenda that we're currently living in.
Okay, a movie. All right. Now we'll begin the debate. Now I have a suggestion. How many of our viewers would like me to get Pahlaj Nihlani on the program? I think Mr. Pahlaj Nihlani should be brought on the program and then should answer to a debate. I think I'll try and do that.
Of course, that would be wonderful.
We'll get the Sanskari censor chief on the program. Khusboo.
They're educated people.
Okay, we get the Sanskari censor chief on the program. I thank you for joining me on debate number 2.
I also get the Sanskari
on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.
Filmmakers.